picking the herbs. Harvest them. Cool. Mint flower is my favorite. Just eat it fresh off the plant. Just still attached. Fresh is best, right? Life force and stuff. Cool, but we don't always have the things fresh because of seasonality, location, location. So it's nice to be able to pick them. Plus, I got this whole patch right here that's just so much mint, all the mint. We got other stuff growing in there, but this mint has just taken over, so gotta pull it out anyway. Just choking stuff out. It's got this yarrow. I hope this yarrow is making it. It's not looking real hot. The other one, the red one, looks a bit better, but and it's choking out all kinds of things. Look at that little tiny fig tree taken over by mints and grass. So whatever. I'm gonna pull that out, call it a weed, kind of at this point, almost, but it's still an herb. It's nice when your herbs are weeds. Your weeds are herbs, and so the chore becomes harvesting usable, medicinal, good stuff. And we could just whack it all off, but we'll start a little simpler, a little smaller. Let's see. I'm gonna show you kind of like structurally herbs, like everything that's an herb, like has this same kind of structure where, oh, man, camera. What's that about? Where am I? Yeah. Okay, so check this. We got, do we have light? Let's get it in the light. Okay, there we go. So we got these two, I have big leaves. The mints are square stems, opposite leaves. And you always have a big leaf, and right under it, there's these little nodes where it's got a few leaves. It's got this branch ready to grow out and sprout. I just lost the leaf, but if we pick those, just the big leaf, right, and leave the little nodes, then that can sprout out. And then it just gets thicker. Everything develops more, gets more complex. And so same thing, the flower heads a lot of people do when they're just starting, come in and pinch that, and then they're gonna have these two little nodes that are gonna sprout out. It's gonna get thicker, the plant will get bushier, stop growing up and start growing out. And eat the flowers, of course. Mint flowers are great, they're so fresh. Feeling rude talking with my mouth full. And there are these nice purple things. The pollinator's pretty into them. A lot of herbs, you want to pick them before they flower, but if you catch them right when they start sending out the little buds, kind of like these, and you just pop those, and then it's gonna keep, growing, like keep it in veg for a while instead of letting it go to flower. I'm just gonna show you on a few of these because they're herbs. They're the same. They all kind of do that. I was just kind of checking out these rosemaries. Look at these really skinny leaves. It's hard to see, but it's the same. It's the same kind of thing. Where if I pop one, it's more space. Actually, yeah. On this one, it's hard to see on this one. Let's see the sage. I'll just show you the pattern, and this pattern is cool. It's kind of how I figured out amaranth wanted to be eaten. It's got this they'd have these big leaves, and then they'd have this little tight cluster of little leaves. And so this is like the offering of the plant. You take that and it makes more space and it promotes more growth. And all stuff like this, like on a sage. Actually, this one's looking pretty clean, but you know, oh yeah, actually that's nice. Lots of green leaves. Once they get to a certain point though, these are kind of getting to that point. And it's starting to less green, more yellow, start to kind of wilt. And they'll start to dry up and die, and you know, the plant will do a whole lot better if you'll come and pick them when they're big. It wants you to come and pick these and use these. It's an herb. Thank you. And the more you do, the thicker it'll get, the happier it'll be, because it's having attention paid to it. And it doesn't get all these dead, dried leaves. Everything's like that. The more you pick it, then the more it'll make, and it'll actually get to be a thicker bush in the season than if you have a couple of these that you don't pick from and you have one that you keep picking from. The one you pick from is going to end up being a much larger plant. It's getting appreciated, it's getting utilized, so it makes more medicine. It's like plants want to be eaten. We all exist in relationship, and they're trying to give you this gift. And the ganja plants are like that. The more you big leaf them, the better they do, and they get thicker. It's an herb. It's like the herb. It's an herb. It works like that, but you don't want to eat a whole lot of them. And of course, I don't want to eat a whole lot of sage either. You know, everything in moderation. Except cacao. Let's see what else we got. Yeah. Lemon balm is a pretty good example and a decent thing. Let's see what we got here. And it's the same kind of thing. You know, at the base of this big one, I get this little node just ready to pop out and get thicker, and it's got a couple leaves on it. And so the more you pick them, the bigger they'll get, the more you appreciate them. And they're trying to give you those things. Thank you. Part of the dance. And a lot of things, it's amazing, even like figs ripen in batches down the tree. And if I'm there early and I'm picking the first figs of the season, they get bigger and juicier and more delicious, and they're just amazing, exploding with flavor. And then if I'm not around and no one's picking them, and you get there and there's 3 or 4 that didn't get picked, they just are not nearly as good. And make these little dried things that are like, oh, nobody cares. All plants are like that. This guy used to let me come eat all his ripe fruit and vegetables because he wanted them tiny micronutrients, and he'd always say that the more you pick them, the better they'll do. Please, please come eat them. And if you don't like ripe fruits and vegetables, you need someone to eat them. I'm great. That was a great relationship. Thanks, John. Patience at trying to eat leaves and talk. That's what I get because it's rude. Don't talk with food in your mouth. Wow. Yeah, that lemon balm, sage, that's hairy. Whew. Okay, cool. So that was quite a bit of the same, of just structure of the plant. And still, I think that's cool. A lot of people come and just like chop off a plant. You could it is still stuck in there. Wow. Okay, I got this. I got this. It's easy. Okay, well, good. So again, big leaves. And just pull them off. And then a little trick that I figured out was just sewing the leaves. If you're doing individuals, you know, it's easier to wrap branches because they got the stem. And you just throw those on a string. Wow. I quit smoking spliffs. Paying for it. And voila. It's still stuck. I need tea. Am I gonna get this done? I'm gonna get this done. I can do this. Alright. String of herbs. Thank you. Thank you. Wow. Need that licorice marshmallow tea. Throat coat. So little bundles. Easy to make. Make a handful, but it's nice to have some airflow. These little baskets are cool too, wicker baskets that ladies been making forever. Good job, ladies. You get that airflow, keep things off the ground. It's good when you're picking it, or just, you can just dry stuff in that, especially if it's little individual leaves, like inside, you don't want to blow away. But I find the string thing pretty functional. This string, I'll just make a little bundle. Thank you, voila. Drying the herbs in this, I'll tie up and leave for a few days, 2 to 3. And these are, oh no, this one's got a little, it's got a little spittle bug thing on the end. I'm gonna take that off, and that's another nice one if you got some of it's funky and you want to do just individual. That's cool too. Generally fresh is best, but then again, wintertime, and I gotta clear this out to save all the other plants. This mint likes to spread like that, but that's rocking when your weeds are medicines, which I think usually they are, right? It's just that we don't know and we forget and whatever, but there's a use for everything. We all know the mint's rocking. Hang it up to dry. Might as well. The lamb's ear, that's a good one too. Or the mullins if you're picking those bottom leaves. And they don't get those dried up dead leaves, and it just works better anyway. Part of the relationship. Yeah, hang this one from the fan. Blah blah. Come on, son. I like to sometimes hang from this little structure, whatever works. Yeah, I tend to do them outside. Not everyone likes them inside. With this heat, they'll be dried really fast. Nice little bundle of herbs. So I'm gonna probably fill that up. Maybe do some on the thing. Yeah, I'm gonna get used to this camera someday. Eventually. Yeah, I'm gonna save that yarrow real quick because that one's a really nice red one. And this fig tree is getting taken over. It's crazy. Not crazy. Alright. Great, Justin. Language. And that should pretty much do it. I guess that's the concept. Pretty simple concept, right? People have been doing this forever. We're people, it's what we do. Generally, that's been the ladies, but thanks, ladies, of history. It's pretty nice. Pretty nice. Just gonna leave those for a couple days too. You don't want to dry it too much; they'll get all dried and crinkly, and you just play with it and feel it out. And whatever works. It's gonna be real hot here Oklahoma summer, so it'll be done real quick. I used to really like to hang them from a willow tree that was right here with this nice arch, hamstring, and just load it up. It's good, but do it how you do it. Play with the string thing if that works for you, and if you got little space, or just picking leaf by leaf. A lot of times that's the way to do it. Just pay attention, and one at a time. You can come in and chop the whole thing, but a lot of times you'll get way more out of it if you just go get what you need often, and it gets appreciated. All that biofeedback loop. So it's about that.